big. He's out.
Yeah. See him?
Yeah. Oh, he's there.
The Musky Hunter, brought to you by Yeti Coolers, Ontario, Canada, Shimano, G. Loomis, Power Pro, Mercury Outboards, Ranger Boats, Joe Bucher Outdoors, Musky Mayhem Tackle, Motor Guide, Musky Innovations, Phantom Lures, and Musky Hunter Magazine.
Engineered to excel, the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series are built for the ultimate ownership experience. It's a commitment to excellence packed with real-world advantages and exclusive features. Experience the accelerated performance standards of the Ranger Z series. From first light to last cast, these advanced designs are put together to set you apart.
And there she is.
My first Mercury.
154 stroke, the lightweight heavyweight. And she comes with all this. Say hi to Wendy from customer support. She's always there to help. Jerry from product testing. He dishes out the torture.
They can take it. Good.
And Tim from design. He never misses a detail. Obsessed with quality. Bobby, prop engineer. He turns horsepower into performance. This is George.
It's good to have Mercury behind you. Meet the rest of the team at mercurymarine.com.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
We're at Cedar Lake Lodge in Peralt Falls, Ontario, and Cedar Lake is an outstanding muskie fishery. It fishes large because there's so many spots, yet the way it's shaped, you can tuck away around some islands and always stay protected no matter what the wind. It's got a lot of fish and some big muskies as well, because this lake is protected with Ontario's 54-inch size limit. I'm with my good friends Charlie Bueller and John Mish. I'm with Al Rempel from Cedar Lake Lodge. Al, what makes this lake so special?
You pretty well have it in a nutshell there. It is a manageable body of water. We personally fish it as well. We like to take our time, show the guests what's been happening the previous week, some of the hot spots and the patterns they should be looking for, and hopefully they'll have a great trip.
Well, sounds awesome. I mean, this is a phenomenal body of water. Cedar Lake is located in Peralt Falls, Ontario, Canada, approximately 170 miles northeast of International Falls, Minnesota. It's 16 miles long, it's horseshoe shaped, approximately 6,500 acres. It's got lots of incredible muskie fishing. Cedar Lake Lodge is an incredible resort that has all the amenities you need for a muskie hunter. It's got a private ramp, easy access to the island camp, gas, electric, docking, and of course, phenomenal accommodations. You can quickly launch your boat, get to the island, unload your stuff, and go muskie fishing. Everything you need is at Cedar Lake Lodge. There's all kinds of weed types on Cedar Lake, and we're on the west end of the lake right now, and there's a lot of green cabbage that's out here that's still deep. And the thing about it is on the west end, the weeds grow to like 10 foot of water. And so you want to keep your boat out deeper. And one question I always get asked when I go fish a lake is how deep are the weeds? And the unique thing about Cedar is with the weeds on the west end at 10 foot, all of a sudden you go to the east end, the weeds are going in 5 or 6 foot, so they're much shallower because you've got stained water on the other end. So you want to be fishing the weed edge and different types of weed types and look at those, but it's very distinctly different from the west end, which is clear, and the east end, which is much more stained.
There's one. Where'd he go?
Yeah. If these weeds die, these fish have got to get on these rocks.
Yeah.
And actually the weeds here on the dark water end,
Yeah, they do have a little more brown to them.
yeah, they're a little mushier here than they are on the other end of the lake.
Yeah, being shallower.
Oh, got it. No, it was just a little bit past the bait. It kind of overran it.
Yeah.
Bumped it.
One behind it.
There's one.
Yep.
Oh, nice one. Off.
Oh, is that a big fish?
There's fish on the rocks, certainly seems
Yeah,
like.
the fish are up on the rocks, man. Still there, still there. Keep it going. He was hot on it for a second.
You're fishing a lot of shallow cover out here. And so one of the things you want to think about, particularly in the evenings, is going out and throwing a topwater on some of those fish. It's just a lot of fun. And a lot of times when the fish are in shallow cover in the evening, they're going to come up and eat the topwater. And also, think about the sky conditions you've got. During the day, when it was brighter, at certain times, John and Charlie were throwing gold blades, nickel blades, something a lot of reflection. It was out there, a lot of flash. But now that it's overcast in the evening, now they're going to chartreuse and orange blades, so changing up the color combinations a bit. So you'll want to go and throw topwater and tweak the colors, particularly in the evening, or if you get overcast conditions, from the real metallic blades or the fluorescent blades, and then put a few more fish in the boat when you're out here on Cedar.
Fish.
Fish. All right. Coming. You got John. You're decent? Yeah. Staying down?
Yeah, I can't tell.
Where you going? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Blade. Bait came out. It played cat and mouse with me. It was like, you know, I wasn't sure what I had. I knew it was a fish, but I was like, oh, you're really not doing much, are you? Just kind of swimming around.
Nice fish, though.
Yeah, we'll
We'll take them. Yes, sir. That was
Jimmy,
crazy.
as you mentioned earlier, you know, we get a little weather change, get some clouds, and break out the fluorescent blades.
I like it.
Chartreuse, you can't argue with the chartreuse.
Green
Oh,
Monalishi.
yes.
Hey, that's a nice fish.
It's a good
It
fish.
was just like playing like, am I hooked or
dude,
not?
It just, you know, it hit like a sponge. hit like a sponge. No, that's a good
Oh,
fish.
yeah, that's a really nice
Fish. Fish.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Nice fall fatty. Let's get her in the water. And we're on our way. Attaboy. Good fish.
So when to use a prop style topwater, such as this Top Raider, versus a side-to-side topwater, such as this Viper? You know, there's no one absolute answer, but here's the little trick that I use to tell me which one is best. If I'm fishing a lake and I get a lot of fish following, or even I catch them during the day on bucktails, the straight moving bucktails, then I will use a prop style topwater. On the other hand, if I'm catching fish on erratic lures, let's say a phantom, glider, jerkbait, or something moving real erratic, then I'll use the side-to-side topwater as a general rule. What I'm trying to do is mimic the action of the topwater with the same action of the lures that are underneath the water where I've been catching them or seeing them. It doesn't always work, but it's always a starting point. But just remember, on any given day, muskies are muskies, so you gotta try both. And sometimes they want one style topwater versus the other, and that's why you gotta have both. Where's the dream destination of all muskie anglers? Ontario. And for good reason. It's loaded with giant muskies. Ontario has hundreds of waters with thousands of spots loaded with trophy muskies waiting for you. Don't fight the crowds. Explore the waters of Ontario. Fish alone and get back in touch with nature. Ontario. It's the place where muskie dreams come true. To find out more about my favorite Ontario muskie waters, check out gofishinontario.com. Are you searching for that secret lake or magic lure?
There's no one secret in muskie fishing.
Knowledge is power.
You want to catch more muskies?
Get Musky Hunter.
Get Musky Hunter.
Get Musky Hunter.
Subscribe now and get cutting-edge information from the top muskie professionals. Learn to locate muskies in any water using the hottest muskie lures. Get the latest on new muskie gear and exclusive muskie wear. Get 6 big issues for only $21.95. Call 1-800-23-MUSKIE or go to muskiehunter.com.
XI5 from Motor Guide, a wireless trolling motor engineered for anglers by anglers, delivering key performance attributes with power, toughness, stealthy, quiet operation. And for you control freaks, our optional pinpoint GPS navigation system lets you position your boat precisely where the fish are, instantaneously, accurately, built to earn you bragging rights. Meet the all-new XI5, only from Motor Guide.
This episode of The Muskie Hunter is brought to you by Ontario, Canada. Check out Jim's favorite muskie destinations at gofishinontario.com.
Kyla Culp of Ridgeway, Ontario, caught and released this 41-incher on Lake St. Clair.
So in the clear water, you just want to keep the bait a little bit deeper, just closer to the cover.
Yep. When I fish eagle, you can't see your bucktail. When you're fishing all summer long, you can't see. You see it the first 5 foot, you never see your bait until the last 5 foot. That's the speed they bring in their double tens on these deeper cabbage beds like this. And when we go to Mille Lacs and we'd fish the sand, we'd be burning them over the sand like 1,000,000 miles an hour. And then when you get to the deeper cabbage, you slow it down where you can't see it. So it's just over the top of the deeper cabbage stalks.
Just to be closer to the cover.
Closer to the cover. Ooh, find it, yep. Got him. Got the net, John. Good job. Oh, he's spiraling everywhere. It's all wrapped up. Talk about, look at him, he's just spinning like crazy. He's got me all wrapped up.
Got a net of whirling dervish here. Sweet.
Oh my. Whew. Just saw a little flash behind that shallow-rater. Kept with the figure 8, hung it out there. She ate it, it was awesome. It's a crazy spinner. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. Nice fish. I love it. Beautiful. All right, I had a feeling when I drop this one in, going away fast. Wanted no part of that.
There's one. Low and slow. There you go. Oh, he missed it.
One of the great things about Cedar is it's kind of horseshoe shaped, and the fact that it's horseshoe shaped, it's never more than, let's say, a mile across at its widest point. So you get days when the wind is howling, and we certainly have had that, or days when it's not so rough. And the great part about it is you can tuck out of the wind. Depending on the wind direction, you know, you may go fish the middle of the lake where it's shaped more east-west, and if you get a big south wind, you can fish it. You get a big north wind, you can tuck out of the wind. You get a lot of islands in different areas. So because of that unique shape and the fact that it's kind of in a valley and it's not real wide across, you can always find a good spot to fish. There's one behind him. Yeah, that's a nice one. See him take off?
Yep.
Might still hang around, John.
Yeah.
Got him. Nice fish.
Oh.
Now that time I took him that way and I brought him back this way.
I saw you.
That was a wide body.
He was wide.
You know, am I getting a little bit of slippage with my thumb on the spool? That if I just kept it engaged, I wouldn't have that slippage?
You know, when they sit there and do that, you can do. You know, when they sit there and they're not moving, shaking, that's how they get off. You know, it's like, you know, you gotta, you know, when they're, you think you can't really control what a big fish does like that. But when they sit still like that doing that, you're doomed. It's mid-September and we are out here all alone. I mean, this lake is empty. And you know, a lot of people, when they're planning their Canadian trip, they typically go in July or August, which is great muskie time, no question about it. But there's something special about middle of September, like it is right now, being the only one on the lake. You got fish spotted, you can take your time, and you can work them. Although you can plan trips any time of year, but the beauty of Canada truly is being able to get out there and fish alone, and there's no question about it. When you're on Cedar, you're alone. Oh! Wasn't it? Melted kind of, but I saw it was a big wide back, you know. Two of them. Behind it, Carl? Yeah.
Did the spin off.
There.
There's something there, you know?
Huh?
It's a fish there. I don't know how big it was.
Yeah, I didn't know how big it was either. I just saw the brown.
There's definitely a fish there.
Here's one. Head shaking like crazy. Coming.
I'm bringing one.
Where are you, John?
I'm gonna bring him right around here.
Okay.
Oh, he's not happy.
This side now. Yeah.
All right. Over this side.
Easy, buddy. Yeah, I don't wanna. Get him up here.
I got him.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice fish. Nice fish, John. What happened?
I don't know. I was
door.
reeling it in, and all of a sudden it ate. It gave me no warning.
You didn't see it coming in, did you?
No. Hit me as I came next
I
to the
saw
boat.
the big flash right. You're going to go into a figure eight.
Right before I started the figure eight.
Look at that thing. Giant. Yes.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Didn't even give me any warning.
Wow.
Didn't allow me to get no figure eight,
That's a
which,
big one.
thank you very much. Put her back in the water.
All right. This out of the way.
Not yet.
Beautiful. Right. Yes. As muskie hunters, we all know how effective fishing around a storm can be, but you gotta be safe. You don't wanna mess with lightning. So here's what I do whenever I got an approaching storm situation. I've got a little handy strike alert lightning detector that I keep up in my bow. And what happens is it has an audible beep if a storm's, let's say, 40 miles away. And so I know one beep means it's 40 miles away. If I hear two beeps, maybe it's 20 miles away and getting closer. So audibly I know I need to leave and be safe. So what I like to do is have this handy whenever there's storm conditions out there. And I know if a storm is coming or going, and I know when to leave the water and be safe. Because remember, my motto has always been, live to fish another day.
It's time once again for the world-famous Milwaukee Muskie Expo. Come see all the latest in muskie tackle, muskie boats, and muskie resorts. Demo the latest lures, meet with industry leaders, or take part in the World Championship Muskie Lure Contest. Don't miss the live auction for tackle on Friday night, and Sunday is Kids Day. February 14th, 15th, and 16th, State Fair Park, Milwaukee.
Where's the dream destination of all muskie anglers? Ontario. And for good reason. It's loaded with giant muskies. Ontario has hundreds of waters with thousands of spots loaded with trophy muskies waiting for you. Don't fight the crowds. Explore the waters of Ontario. Fish alone and get back in touch with nature. Ontario. It's the place where muskie dreams come true. To find out more about my favorite Ontario muskie waters, check out gofishinontario.com.
It's time for the Yeti Tough Moment. John, Charlie, and Jim had been fishing for hours with no action when suddenly this giant muskie appeared out of nowhere. Although John executed a perfect figure eight and triggered the strike, this fish had different plans. Now that's Yeti tough.
Yes.
Well, I do, don't I?
Oh, he's hot.
Oh!
I'm coming.
Charlie, can you get the net on that one?
I'm coming.
I'm here.
Coming over here.
Get ready.
Whoa! What is he doing?
All right. Great job, John.
Crazy! Crazy!
John Mish. He could do no wrong. He could do no wrong.
Wow, 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 wow.
Nice job.
Nice net job.
Wow, unbelievable.
The fish kind of just comes up like that, and it was staying right there, and then he moved again and it was right on it again.
And when Charlie says we got one there, I'm waiting for this to say,
right, yeah.
There's not one there.
Yeah, right.
How could there be one there?
What was amazing too is that, you know, think about it, you went around and you just hung it there.
Right
and it looked
there.
like it stood there for the longest time, and all of a sudden, that was great. That's awesome. That's muskie fishing. That's boat side stuff. That's
You
cool.
get a little window opportunity, you start getting all over it.
You get these crazy windows, and here in a situation where, you know, the moon is rising in a full moon period, and it gets crazy when you get in a spot like this.
Oh boy. That's a pretty fish.
Nice. Nice. Beautiful.
Let's get this one back in the water.
He is gonna fly away.
Yeah. I didn't burn too much on this one. Yeah. Just the way you like them to swim away.
It's funny how an hour earlier, those fish were following the minnow bait, being squirrely around it, and then all of a sudden, sun setting, moon's growing up, and they decide to annihilate the bucktails. Al, how long have you owned the resort here?
It's been 17 years now.
Wow, that's incredible. So what do you do to help muskie anglers when they come here?
Well, just really the basics. A good orientation to the lake, and basically what the muskie have been doing the last week or two, kind of establish a pattern, maybe suggest some lures, go over a little bit with the tackle, and other than that, get them out there, let them see what Cedar Lake really has to offer.
So what would you recommend for a new muskie fisherman? Never been here before, coming here first time?
Basically not to be afraid of the lake in itself. It's very manageable, it's a well-sheltered lake. We would recommend that they for sure have adequate tackle because there's some big fish here. A good quality net, line, etc., etc. It's definitely going to be needed here if you're on the big fish.
When you get to Cedar, one of the things you have is there's so many spots. And when you get to prime time, you get conditions like this, where the sun's going down, it's overcast. You want to be in 1,000 spots at once, but you can't do that. You got to be in one. So how do you pick the one? What I typically do is when I'm on a trip and any evening when I go out fishing spots, if all of a sudden there's a spot where I see a couple more fish than I do anywhere else that night, that's typically where I go. And just get on that spot right before dark and make it your last spot. It's the same approach you'd use anywhere. But it's so easy in Canada. You want to be in 1,000 spots and fish real fast. Don't do that. Pick what you think is the best spot, slow down, and fish it. Oh. Got him.
Got him. Oh, it's a good one.
Coming. Trade you.
Okay. Got it. Try this side?
Sure.
Oh.
Hit it.
Yep, she did. Whoa.
Awesome muskie. Look at this.
Beautiful.
Man,
look at that.
That is a giant fish. Nice job.
Yep. Beautiful.
Boy, Cedar Lake is an incredible muskie fishery. Lots of spots, lots of really nice muskies. And Cedar Lake Lodge, that's definitely the place to be because it caters to all the muskie hunters. You know, get out here, give it a try, and catch yourself a giant. Join us next week for the Big Fish Adventure on the Muskie Hunter.
The Muskie Hunter has been brought to you by these fine sponsors.
So it's 6:45, which is moonrise, according to the Muskie Hunter app.
Tomorrow, Charlie, you're in the front of the boat. And if it's raining, I'm in the cabin. Did we see any other fish that you want me to catch before we go in?
Oh!